The principal person of Joshua is present in the Pentateuch first as Hoshea the son of Nun, Numbers 13:8. A few verses later, Moses selects Hoshea along with 11 other men to spy on the Canaanites and then changes Hoshea's name to Joshua, Numbers 13:16. The Hebrew name Hoshea means salvation. A number of Israelite men in the Pentateuch and in the historical books share this Hebrew name. The Hebrew name that Hoshea, the son of Nun, is changed to is Yehoshua, which the English name Joshua comes from. The Hebrew name for Joshua, Yehoshua, is made up by two Hebrew words. Yahweh, the proper name of God with vowels from Adonai, and Yasha, the root for deliver. The compound word name, Yehoshua, Joshua in English, literally means therefore God is salvation or God saves. In English, the name Yehoshua is translated either as Joshua or Jesus. These two names therefore are equivalent. Church fathers picked up this equivalence and interpreted Jesus as a new Joshua and Joshua as foreshadowing Jesus as a type, with Jesus as the fulfillment of Joshua. According to John Chrysostom, the deeper reason why Joshua's name was changed by Moses was to indicate his different mission from Moses's. Although Moses' mission was to teach people in the requirements of the law, in the requirements of Torah, meaning teaching, instruction, and law, he still died outside of the promised land, therefore thereby teaching that the law by itself has no power to save, has no power to bring a person into the promised land. In contrast, the mission of Joshua, whose very name God saves, entered the promised land and led other people into the land, not because of any merit of his own or because of the law, but because of grace, because of the gift of salvation from God who saves. In fulfillment of Joshua's role, who was only a man, Jesus as the God-man, as the new Joshua, truly offers us salvation, truly offers us the promised land of heaven. We only can receive this gift if we freely accept the sanctifying grace he offers and pray for the grace to persevere in this gift of salvation, in the gift of sanctifying grace, so as to cross over the waters of death to reach Jesus who is heaven, as Pope Benedict XVI states. I quote, "Jesus himself is what we call heaven. Heaven is not a place but a person, the person of him in whom God and man are forever and inseparably one. And we go to heaven and enter into heaven to the extent that we go to Jesus Christ and enter into him." Finally, Jesus as the one who leads us into the promised land in its fullest sense and as the promised land in person also fulfills Joshua's role in yet another important way. Under Moses' leadership, the Israelites wandered through the desert, eating heavenly manna with the hope to reach the promised land. Joshua then leads the Israelites across the Jordan River, and in so doing, the manna from heaven ceases to appear, since the Israelites have reached the promised land of plenty and are no longer in a desert. After the example of the Church Fathers, Scott Hahn implies that Jesus fulfills the role of the manna in the desert by his Eucharistic presence, which is the heavenly manna for Catholics as we make a pilgrimage through this world to the heavenly promised land. In heaven, the manna and the entire sacramental system will give way to what they signify, or rather who they signify, Jesus, head and members, including the saints of heaven as members of his body.